Today is Wednesday, April 9th, 2025, and this is The Continental. The Supreme Court rules, for now, Trump does not have to hire independent labor board members. Elon Musk scraps with Chuck Schumer, suggesting the senator profits from government fraud. U.S. stocks surge after the White House pauses Trump's formally announced tariffs. House Republicans forge ahead with a budget vote as holdouts dig in. All this coming up and much more on The Continental. Let's get into it.
Ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man.
Supreme Court says Trump does not have to rehire independent labor board members for now. A decision on Wednesday by Chief Justice John Roberts allows, at least for the moment, President Trump to remove board members at independent labor agencies. In general, the Supreme Court is much more conservative, has been trying to expand the president's power ever since Trump came into office. However, it is important to note that the decision is temporary, as the Supreme Court justices all have to still discuss on the matter further. An appeals court in Washington recently reinstated a National Labor Relations Board member, Gwen Wilcox, which brings into question what Trump and the executive branch can really do when it comes to firing or rehiring these members of the labor boards. Elon Musk and Chuck Schumer get into it on Wednesday. The day before, Tuesday morning, Elon Musk posted on X, suggesting that the Democratic senator could be benefiting from government fraud. In the post, Musk writes, in quote, "Chuck, I'm starting to think you're getting a piece of the action with the government fraud. But no, that couldn't possibly be the reason, could it?" This comment was made, interestingly enough, after Schumer accused Doge of sabotaging Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Schumer replied to the post saying, in quote, "Another Elon lie. He wants you to think anyone who dares to stand up to him is committing fraud. Meanwhile, he's taking tens of billions from the government," end quote. Of course, Musk is heading Doge, established to crack down on government waste and inefficiency. Will there be any further investigation into either of these claims that either Musk or Schumer are actually taking money from the government? The stock market sees a near immediate bump after the Trump administration announced a 90-day pause on Trump's recently announced Liberation Day tariffs. Instead of the high rate spikes for countries recently announced, Trump will instead pose only the 10% flat tax rate. As for the numbers, the Dow was up 8% and the Nasdaq was over 12% today. Most importantly, the S&P 500 rose 9.5%, the biggest single-day jump since 2008. China is the only nation that was not spared on Wednesday. Instead, the Red Dragon mainland will have its tariffs raised to 125%. This is, of course, higher than the original 84% that Trump originally announced on Liberation Day. Many people think Trump's decision was based on the stock market, but it actually was not. According to Paul Ashworth, a chief economist for the Capital Economics, the weakening of the bond's values is what forced Trump to give in on his high tariffs. In a statement, Ashworth said, in quote, "Although President Trump was able to resist the stock market sell-off, once the bond market began to weaken too, it was only a matter of time before he folded on his eye-watering high tariffs." Will the stocks stay increased after this announcement? Most importantly, how will the stocks and bonds react as we get closer to the end of the 90-day pause? The House of Representatives will vote on a budget resolution on Wednesday. This 70-page resolution outlines Trump's plan on border security, defense, energy, and tax priorities. The pressure is high to get this bill signed, with Trump's 100 days closing in. Specifically, the resolution is hitting a roadblock due to disagreements over how and where to make substantial spending cuts. In the resolution, the Senate set relatively low minimum floors for spending cuts for several committees, just about $4 billion actually. This is surprising, however, because they expect to find more. This also being said, at the same time, it allows for House plans to cut at least $1.5 trillion in spending. Specifically, House Republicans fear that the spending cuts in the bill are not deep enough, causing a fear that the Senate Republicans do not follow through on the substantial spending cuts further down the line. With that in mind, Republicans worry that some of their own are against the bill, which will derail any plans they have to get it passed. In a post on the social media site Truth Wednesday morning, Trump said, in quote, "Republicans, it is more important now than ever that we pass the one big, beautiful bill," end quote. Trump also met with some of his holdouts, encouraging them to support the bill. How long will it take to pass this bill, and what are the consequences of it not getting done soon? What effects will that have, not only immediately, but later on in Trump's presidency in his controlling of the House and Senate? This has been Monday, April 9th, 2025. Make sure you follow us on all of our social accounts, as well as subscribe to the YouTube down below to get pertinent daily updates on all the news and political matters that matter to you. Until then, we will see you tomorrow. Take care.